Welcome back everyone with us to Somerset Place. In our last two videos, we covered the archaeological excavations under William Tarlton in the early 1950s. In addition to conducting research, the state decided that Tarlton, quote, would perform on-the-ground supervision of such restoration work as might be decided upon from time to time. One of his first projects was to find the original exterior paint colors of the historic buildings. By scraping through the successive coats of paint in a number of sheltered places on the Collins home, it was determined that the basic original color was a light tan, the trim color a blue-gray, and the porch floors a grayish tan. Tarlton found the colony house was painted the same way. The kitchen rations building was a dull, dark red, while the other domestic dependencies were blue-gray. Workers repainted the Collins home, colony house, and kitchen rations building with their original colors, but they inexplicably painted the other dependencies to match the Collins home. Meanwhile, Tarlton oversaw repairs to a couple dependency buildings. At the smokehouse, he replaced some of the upright framing and installed new sills atop a new brick foundation. He also placed a new foundation under the kitchen rations building. However, Tarlton's restoration work was limited by the continued modern functionality of the buildings. The smokehouse still held the site's water tank and pump, while the other dependencies were used for park storage. Nearby, the colony house served as a residence for park caretaker Tom Davenport, so Tarlton couldn't remove the modern alterations that the WPA had made to the structure, like bathrooms and electrical fixtures. But he did restore the front porch, which was missing its balustrade and doorsteps. To do this, he duplicated the porch balustrade from Belgrade, the former plantation house of Charles Pettigrew. However, Tarlton's biggest restoration project centered around the Collins home. Since state parks could no longer operate it as a hunting lodge, Tarlton could remove the WPA's modern changes and fully restore the house to its original appearance. He took out 5 bathrooms, a kitchen, plumbing and electrical services, and housings for service lines. To cover these repairs, workers replastered several rooms, repainted some interior walls and woodwork, and refinished rough portions of the floors. Tarlton also salvaged original door hinges and hardware on the shutters. Reproductions were crafted and installed based on these samples. Lastly, Tarlton rebuilt doorsteps and balustrades at 4 entrances to the house. Much of the material used in his restoration of the Collins home was salvaged from the nearby Banarva Plantation house. The building, constructed around 1861 for the Pettigrew family, quote, had deteriorated to such an extent by 1953 as to be a fire hazard and in danger of falling. Wrecking of the house with the salvage of all valuable materials and clearing of the site was accomplished early in 1953. You can learn more about Banarva by watching our video linked at the end of this episode. Tarlton's restoration project wasn't just limited to existing buildings. He also reconstructed many lost features around the site. We'll cover those changes in our next video. Until then, click subscribe and ring that bell to receive notifications of our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you here soon.